Hello, everybody, and welcome to our 2023 team recap. This is part three. So today we're going to be covering Liam Nalette's season, Anthony Sykes' season, and Brady Bailey's season. Before I do that, just to let you guys know, right now we're getting looks like we're going to have a good turnout at the league meeting on March 23rd. Confirmed as of right now, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have 9 confirmed. We're waiting on one more. Plus, we're gonna have 2 draft reps in the house, and then we'll actually have 4 teams that will be watching on stream with us, and so potentially we could actually have 12 people in the room. That'd be awesome. This is always a good experience. We got a few added bonuses this year. Couple new things we're going to add to the fantasy league. Surprises, if you will. Just kind of little fun things that are getting thrown in there. Nothing major. We got some big votes up, and check out that voting stream I did a couple weeks ago to get a vote by vote breakdown. For all those that are going to be in house, you're also going to get a packet. In the packet, you're going to have the actual voting sheet, so you can follow along as we do that. You'll also get any 2025 trades. So obviously we're in the 2024 season, so you're going to get an actual draft, the draft order as of right now, with the first 10 spots in the first round blank. And during the draft lottery, you can actually pencil in who those are if you want to make any trades after the fact. Anyone that's online that's going to be streaming or not able to attend, I'll email those to you. You'll get the email updated ones. And then also you'll get whatever, like I said, whatever 2025 traded picks there were. You also get the 2024 game schedule and a Hall of Fame ballot. And here, 1 second. And it's gonna look weird because I'm taking a picture of the. There's something keeps been popping up. It never used to pop up, and I want to get a picture of it so I can look up what this is. So if anyone knows anything about this, it says error. Please use keyframe frequency for 4 seconds or less. Currently, keyframes are not being sent often enough. It says the stream status is poor. So I guess I got to figure that out. So we'll do that later. I know I've watched some of these. That hasn't been the first time that popped up there. So, all right, back to our regularly scheduled program. Also in the room, I did it yesterday. The 2024 draft lottery board has been filled out. And on one side, you're going to have what the projected first 10 picks will be. That also includes if there was any trades. For example, there's only one. It looks like Kyle is the only one that's going to have an extra lottery pick. Because I have a couple extra first round picks, but they're non-lottery picks. So Kyle actually has 2 in the top 4. Could be big for him. And then on the right side of the board will be in black. That'll be the finals. So already having marked in, so 11 to 16 are already marked down in black because obviously those are locked in. Food wise, probably gonna do the sandwich platter, but like we've always done, you can make your own sandwich. Although I thought about throwing out there if anyone wanted to do something different. I know in the past we've done Buffalo Wild Wings before. The only thing that sucks about that is you gotta go get it. Same with pizza. So it's kind of nice to have the sandwich thing here. So unless someone says, "Hey, what about this?" then we'll just keep the sandwich platter. There'll be baked beans, probably I don't know coleslaw, chips, stuff like that. So, um, All right, let's get into it. Let's look at Liam Nalette's 2023 season. Now, Liam Nalette joined us just before the draft in 2023, and he actually was um, in our National Guard reserve uh, going to school. His boot camp was going on while our draft was, so he relayed to his dad everything that he liked to get. And overall, Liam finished 6-8, which actually was an improvement from the previous year. He took over for Chris Byam. That put him in the 11th position overall. There was a period where I think it looked like he was kind of rising. He did make a big trade to acquire Saquon Barkley. As far as scoring goes, he scored 17,601 points, which put him 10th place overall. And he gave up 18,348, which put him 10th place overall. And then as far as games that were under 100 points, he lost to Kyle by 87. He lost to Greg by 54. He beat me by 93. He beat Megan, his sister, by 89. He lost to Nick Ergang by 102. I know I always say 100, but that's 2 points, right? So you take those 3 games right there. He's actually, if he wins those 3, I'm not sure if he is a playoff team, but he's right there in that conversation for sure. And he ended up beating me by 19 points to secure the 11th overall position at the final season. We looked at his team as far as his 5 keepers. Here's what our projection is. Quarterback Dak Prescott, wide receiver DJ Moore, running back Derrick Henry, running back Saquon Barkley, and running back Devin Archain. 2 other considerations for him are wide receiver Rashad Bateman and wide receiver Jameson Williams, who really came on big at the end of the season. So 2 of those players I kept. Obviously, Derrick Henry is an older running back at this point, still definitely a starter in the league. But both him and Barkley could be in different locations this coming season. So definitely keep an eye on that. In DJ Moore's case, he could have a new quarterback, which I think the Bears should do, is keep Fields, draft Marvin Harrison first overall. Be quite the receiving duo in my opinion. But I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure who he. I mean, if he was gonna maybe pick one, you maybe sacrifice Derrick Henry, and that's just because of an age thing. I think he holds on to all 3 running backs. Pretty much puts him. He doesn't have to worry about running back. Actually, he's got a good running back stable, at least for the time being. And then he could just early draft wide receivers and stuff. So all in all, like I said, if those 3 games turned around for him, he's a playoff contender for sure. So overall, I think Liam had a good first year, and from what it looks like, he's looking forward to his second year. So we're going to move on to Anthony now. So Anthony, another phenomenal season for Anthony. Anthony's consistently one of our best teams year in, year out. And this year, of course, he was the defending league champion coming out of 2022. He had a 10-4 record. Once again, won his division, the North. Overall, he finished in 3rd place. Scoring wise, he had 19,448 points scored, and he gave up, which put him 5th place in scoring. And he gave up 17,702 points, which put him 7th place overall in points given up. As far as games that were under 100, he always had his yearly battles with Tony. He beat Tony by 37. He beat Nick Ritz by 60. He beat Nick Ergang by 65. He beat Ian by 42. He lost to Greg by 48. He beat Tony by 15. He lost to Mark by 80. So you're looking at his situation. He had a lot of close games. Again, he had a great season, and all those of course were wins. But a big play either way, some of those could have been losses. He could have actually dumped out of the playoff altogether. Um, but he didn't, of course. He also had some injury issues this year, which he's typically not had. Um, he had his of course, he acquired the tight end in the offseason, Mark Andrews. He missed a lot of the season. Justin Jefferson, who's his best player, he missed a lot of the season. Um, Devontae Adams, he's on the Raiders. I mean, things happen, right? So, but he's definitely got one of the best solid cores coming back. His potential 5 keepers we have are Justin Jefferson as a keeper, wide receiver Devontae Adams, running back Joe Mixon, tight end Mark Andrews, and wide receiver Mike Evans. Definitely one of the best receiving cores in the league. And 2 of those receivers might not even be on their same teams. Like I've heard Mike Evans might end up someplace else. I've heard actually Kansas City is a big target for him. Devontae Adams might get traded to the Jets is the big one they always throw out there. Joe Mixon's kind of getting to be an aging running back, so but obviously still starting running back. I don't think he gives him up. The other 2 considerations I put for him as keepers were quarterback Jared Goff and running back Ramondre Stevenson. I don't know if he sacrifices anything. It's hard to say which one you'd sacrifice of those 5 to keep Goff, because you could. Let's see, where's he got? He does still obviously still have a first round. He could see. I mean, he could get Goff in the second round probably. If he wanted Goff back, he could. I mean, definitely get him in the first if you really wanted to lock it up. But it'd be hard to figure out. I mean, those are all stud receivers and a stud tight end. Of course, you can make a trade too, if you wanted to go that route. Goff did have a really good season, and I don't know if Goff would go in the first round. I really don't. Typically, quarterbacks don't go in our first round. It's usually running back, receiver heavy. Although we have had quarterbacks go in the past, so you never know. But all in all, Anthony, another strong season. Looking to be another contender, of course, for going into the 2024 season for sure. So yeah, Anthony, good job. And now we move on to our final subject of the day, Mr. Brady Bailey. Now Brady had a really roller coaster season. I mean, just talk about starting off. At one point, he was the number 1 seed in the league for a while there, and then he got some injury issues and some performance issues at the end of the season, which really hindered him. But so his season, he ended up with an 8-6 record, which put him 10th overall. He led it. I mean, he actually led his division for a while. I mean, Megan ended up taking it, and Rich was right there at the end. But he led that division for a long, long point of the season, and then injuries happened, and he started, going backwards. As far as scoring, 18,477 points scored, which put him 8th. Points against, 17,289, which actually was the 3rd in scoring against him. That's pretty good. I mean, that's obviously that's something you can control, but if his team had more performance, had a little bit. If you take that 8th place to, let's say, 4th or 5th place, who knows? We may be talking about him as the league champion. He had a hot team there for a while, and he's definitely going to have a hot team going into 2024 as well, in my opinion. But as far as close games, he didn't actually have a lot. Most of his were blowouts either way. He only had 2 games that were under 100. He beat Rich by 78, and then he lost to Rich by 89 points. So if you take the second time he played Rich, you turn that around into a win. he's right there in that discussion as well. He's right there in that put him at 9-5 record. Um, that could put him. That actually would have put him in the playoffs. Now that I think about it, that would have put him in the playoffs. That would have knocked Tony out. So as far as keepers, he has actually some options. So this is what we kind of looked at for his best choices in our opinion. That's just an opinion. Wide receiver AJ Brown, wide receiver George Pickens, wide receiver Tyreek Hill, running back Kyren Williams, and running back Josh Jacobs. Now Jacobs is an interesting one because Jacobs could actually be in another place next year as well. Other considerations are tight end Darren Waller, running back Khalil Herbert, quarterback Kenny Pickett, and wide receiver Michael Thomas. In my opinion, of those four, the only one that maybe is you're looking at would be Darren Waller. Darren Waller isn't at the top end of the tight end bracket anymore like he used to be. I'd say personally stick with the five I gave that I suggested. Brady's biggest hindrance in 2023, and I'm sure he would agree with this, was the quarterback position. He ride and died with Kenny Pickett, and I think at one point he had Josh Dobbs, and Dobbs actually for a couple of games looked pretty good for him there, and then that just died right off. Kyren Williams missed some time. At one point, I think Darren Waller missed some time. Herbert missed some time for him, so he definitely had some injury issues in 23, and it was all at the back end of the season. You look at his season. It started off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He won his first 5 games. So he actually through his first 9 games, he was 7-2 through 9 games, and then the losses came, and that's also where the injuries and everything really came. So, definitely he was the best team first half of the season. Unfortunately, he just really fell off there at the end. So, yeah, so that was Brady's season. Again, I look at Brady's situation. Brady does have a first round lottery pick. He picks those 5 and then gets whatever best player you get available in that first round pick. Get your quarterback in the second round, unless you want to get it in the first round, depending what quarterbacks are available. You're looking at a potential playoff contender again. So Brady, I think he had a really good season. I think really everyone as a whole in our league had a good season. We have 6 more teams to cover over the next couple of weeks. There'll be one this weekend. I don't remember which ones those are. I want to say Greg was one of them. And then Tony, I know he's in the last one where we'll do. And that'll be the week before the league meeting. And a lot of the reason I'm doing this now is it's giving a spotlight on every team. Because I know we've always done these in the red carpet. And a lot of the problem with doing the red carpet is sometimes we can't cover every team. And sometimes we can't give every team a true spotlight and really break it down. Because we'll start talking about stuff, people come in, and we start talking about other stuff, and then it's like we didn't cover that team. So this was a way just to kind of give updates, first of all, going to the meeting, let you guys know what's going on, and just kind of give every team their due. And like I said, I think everyone had some big highlights this year. Not too many downsides to our season. So with that, I'm going to be ending the stream now, and I will look forward to seeing you guys this weekend on the stream. And then, of course, March 23rd, 7 p.m. league meeting. 5, everyone's welcome pretty much after 5 p.m. And then we'll be doing the red carpet also at 5 p.m. So we'll be talking with whoever comes in. Hopefully we can get some good conversation going there. Get some good interviews going. Sometimes we have good interviews and sometimes we don't have many. Lately I've noticed a lot of people just kind of stay either when they come in, they stay upstairs and talk to my wife, or they just wait to come to the very end. So, again, Thank you for watching, and we will